We are the sixth reading. Let us begin. Lengthy reading today. So we begin. This is what is said when the Torah is taken out of the ark. Okay, this was said by Moses when the children of Israel traveled in the desert. Vayehi ben Sayaron, Vayeme Moshe Kumo Hashem, V'yafutzu Oivecha V'yanusu Misanecha Mipanecha. All right. And place for theirs in the Chazan, that's what you get. All right, Vihi bin Saya, and it was when they traveled. Ha'arein, the ark was set out. V'yemer Moshe, and Hashem said, Kuma Hashem, rise up, God, V'yafutzu Oivecha, that your enemies should be scattered, V'yanusu Misanecha, and your haters should flee mipanecha from before you. We did a Torah studies on this on Sunday. Now we do Rashi. So Rashi on verse 35. Vahibin Sayarein, and the ark would journey. Also, the Torah makes signs for this Torah passage. If you're looking at Torah, you'll see there's upside down nuns. Upside down nuns in the Torah, giving it its own kind of signs, its own place. Leimar, that's to say, I mean, this is not its place. Very unusual thing over here. Should have been in chapter 2, where it speaks about the encampment of the Israelites. Okay.
That's the first letter of the verse, like the reverse noon.
It's not the first, it's a sign. It's not a part of a letter of a word, but it's an upside down noon.
But can we see it in the text here?
I don't know if it shows it there. Well, you would see it if
like there's this weird letter.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
upside
it.
down noon. Exactly.
The condensation for the water in the fridge.
Okay, well, not now. Not
Drips.
okay. Tell me later.
There's a whole talk.
Yeah, I know. Just we're learning right now. So Balama Nichtav Kan. So if that's the case, if this is not where it should be, why is it written here? Okay, in order to interrupt between one passage which deals with the with troubles of the Jewish people and another. As is stated in the Talmud. Kuma Hashem, next Rashi, arise Hashem, because the ark would go ahead of the Jewish people, which we learned yesterday, Mahalach Shalosh Shanim, it was Shalosh Yamim rather, it would go ahead a 3-day journey. Moshe would say, Amay, halt, Hamtin lana, wait for us. Don't distance yourself so much. And this is found in the Medrash Tanchuma on Parshas Vayakel. And your enemies should be scattered. Those who are gathered together. Right. In other words, those enemies that are gathered together. And those who hate you will flee. These are those who pursue you. So, Misanecha, those who hate you. Israel, those are the ones who hate Israel, because it says who hate God, right? So Rashi says, who are those that hate God and hate Israel? Israel, because whoever hates Israel, the Jewish people, hates the one who's spoken, brought the world into being. Those who hate you raise their head.
Not to say that too loud, eh?
Huh?
Not to say that too loud.
I'm going to say it louder.
Today.
No, I'm going to say it louder. On the contrary.
What's
Just kidding.
Huh? On the contrary. We have to say it loud. Hey, who are they? Alam Chayarimu say against your nation who conspire secretly.
Oh, okay.
Everything here is PC.
It's quite cautious as well to say it out loud.
Exactly. On the contrary, it needs to be said out loud. As a matter of fact, we had a whole class on it on Sunday. For those who missed it, you can go on YouTube and get the Torah studies from Sunday. We had a whole class on this. Okay, 36. V'yanucho v'yemeshuva Hashem v'yisal Yisrael. V'yanucho, when it came to rest, the ark, Yoimar, he would say, Shuva Hashem, repose Hashem, Riva v'yisal Yisrael, amongst the myriads of thousands of Israel. Rashi 36. Shuva Yisrael, repose Hashem, reside in tranquility. Menachem Targum Lashem Margua. So Menachem explains that this word shuva, because shuva means to return, right? So, but here it's an expression of tranquility. We see similarly in a verse in Isaiah that tranquility and calm, you shall be saved, right? Again, the word shuva. Right, shuva coming like from teshuva, right, to do penitence, to return. Right, so tranquility is where when you return to tranquility. Right. You need a book?
Yeah.
Want to pass him with the book over there?
Sure.
We're in the sixth. We're in chapter 11, verse 1. Israel, among the myriads of thousands of Israel, Magid, this tells us that the divine presence does not rest among the Jewish people. In less than 2,002 myriads.
So when the divine presence isn't moving, that means they're resting.
When the clouds are moved, right. Well, here we're speaking about it's interesting. Like, what is the reference over here? What does it mean? Not, that you should be reside in tranquility. Because we're talking here about the Ark of the Covenant, right? The Ark of the Covenant that went forward. So there was repose, there was the travel, and then there was repose, right? So that repose is when the cloud came and settled in a certain place. So therefore the ark knew to settle there, right? So, I'm not certain what it means over here because Rashi's not actually explaining it of what is reposing. Is it the clouds? Is that the reference of right? I'm just in the middle of teaching. Anything. 10:30. Not 10:30, quarter to 11. Yeah, no, but okay, so that it can't be now until later. So it can only be later when I'm finished. Yeah, so, you didn't, that's something you should have checked with, if that's the case, you should have checked with me. You didn't check with me. Okay, anyway, there's nothing I can do, but there's nothing I know, there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, so whatever, mental, take responsibility. Bye. Okay. All right. So that's it. Now we continue. Chapter 11, verse 1. And it was the people, that like complaining. Ra, it was evil. Ba'aznei Hashem, in the ears of Hashem. Vayishma Hashem, and Hashem heard. Vayichar apoy, and he was flared with anger. V'tivar bam, and he fired amongst them. Aish, a fire, like he burnt in a fire. Hashem of God. V'teicha b'ktzei hamachana, and it consumed the extremes, the peripheral of the camp. Okay, that's what's going on over here. All right, let's see. Vahi kimis eininim, and the people were like those who seek. Here it says complaint, or pretext might even be a better word. Okay, so ein am ela rishoyim. The word am, it's interesting, means wicked people.
So was it everyone?
Aha. When the word am is used, it means wicked people. When it's ami, my people, then it's not. Okay?
It's those are the people.
Yeah, not my student.
Okay.
Okay?
It's them.
Similarly, it says, Ma eseh la'am hazeh, what should I do for this people? Va'omer, and it says in the same vein, ha'am hazeh hara, this evil people, kishehem ksherim, but when they were kosher, decent, kruim, ami, they're called my people. Shenemar shalach ami, send my people, right? That's when when Moshe went to Pharaoh, right, to send my people. Ami, my people, what have you done for? What have I done for you? Well, that's from Tanakh. Okay, they were seeking a pretext. The expression of misainim, right? It's a new word. It's a pretext. It means that they're looking for something, right? It's interesting, the previous verse was speaking about Sunday's class was all about anti-Semitism based on this verse, the 2 verses ago, right? And now, and what do we explain about anti-Semitism? That anti-Semitism has nothing to do with what the pretext is. The pretext is, Jews are lazy, Jews are over or work too much. They work too hard and are too successful. Either they're the bums or they're the successful. That's only a pretext. So the same thing is over here. When you want to do something wrong, you're looking for the pretext of why you could do something wrong.
Yeah.
Right? And this is what Rashi is saying over here. What is it? How could they remove themselves from God? Rather than just finding the pretext, the excuse of why I could, And similarly, it says by Shimshon, Samson, for he is seeking a pretext. Ra ba'aznei Hashem, evil in the ears of Hashem. Tayana shehi ra, a pretext which is evil. Okay, next Rashi. I said something already. Right?
So that's just showing how the word pretext is used like in a negative way.
Well, pretext, how's a pretext anything positive? Ra ba'aznei Hashem. This is evil in the ears of God. Ta'ena shuhira, a pretext which is evil. Ba'aznei Hashem, in the ears of Hashem. Kishemiskavnim, for when they intended shitavai ba'aznav, that it should come to his ears. Biyakni, and that he should become angry. Amru, they said, Oy lanu, woe to us. Kama levatnu, b'derech hazeh, how much we struggled on this journey. Shloishe yamim, it's been 3 days, shalinachnu, that we did not have respite. Mi'inu adera, from suffering on the way. Right? In other words, they're finding the excuse. Wow, that was just like the phone call I just got. Wow. Look at that. And his wrath flared. Ani ayisi miskaven l'teivaschem. I'm intended to benefiting you. Right? God is saying, I want to benefit you. Shitikan to Lars miyadi. You should enter the land of Israel immediately. Yeah. In other words, yeah, you're right. It was a tough journey, but it's for your benefit. And his wrath flared. Sorry, we just said that. At the edge of the camp, right? Hashem's wrath flared, and it touched those at the edge of the camp, right? They consumed. Let's see what Rashi says. Those who shunted aside among them, the shiflus, because of their lowliness, this is the Erev Rab, the mixed multitude. Rabbi Shimon ben Manasseh Omer, Rabbi Shimon ben Manasseh, he says that the verse means that they are the officials that are among you, that are those who were the leaders.
The biggest complainers. Or leaders of the complaints. Once is fine.
No, not because they complain. No, because they are responsible. So they're responsible for the people. So therefore, that's why Hashem took it out on them. I would say they didn't,
The leaders of the mixed multitudes were
not of the mixed multitude. No, there's two different explanations. First explanation, it's a mixed multitude. Second explanation, Reb Shimon, that it's not the mixed multitude, it's the leaders. Why? Because they're responsible.
So would this have been the same who had brought up their?
It doesn't say Nisim, but maybe, could be. Yeah, I mean, it stands to reason. Stands to reason, right?
The back's not pure.
Exactly. The buck stops here. This is what, yeah, exactly. Okay, verse number 2. Yitzhakam, and the people cried out, El Moshe to Moshe, and Moshe prayed, El Hashem to Hashem, Tishka ha'esh, and the fire died down. Rashi into Yitzhakam El Moshe, and the people cried out to Moshe, Moshe Melech Basa B'dam. This can be compared to a king of flesh and blood, Shekas al Benoi, who was angry at his son, Behaaloscha ben, and the son went to his father's close friend, go out and plead with father on my behalf. Right? So the good friend of the father is Moshe. So the people went to Moshe, hey, you speak on our behalf. Tishka, what did you read the verse? Tishka eish, and the fire sank. Shaka b'mikayma ba'aretz, it sank in the spot into the earth. She'ilu chazra, for if it had gone back, la'achas haruches, so one of the directions, ha'isam mikapel v'ilechas kol isaru, then it would gradually have destroyed the entire direction. There's a fire, right?
Yeah.
So the fire, to put out the fire could have continued,
Yeah.
right? Become a forest fire, so to speak,
Yeah.
right? But because that's usually what fire does,
Yeah.
right? But here it sunk. It sunk into the ground. It stopped. Okay. Verse number 3. V'yikra, and he called Shem HaMakom, the name of the place. Hahu, that place. Tavera. Kivara bam eish Hashem. because it burnt there. Be'era means to burn. Why? So he explains. The verse says, because it burnt there the fire of God.
Yeah.
Okay. 4. The asaf suf and the saf suf. So saf suf comes from like a sifa, means a gathering. And we'll see. Rashi is going to say it's a gathering of the mixed multitude. Asher b'kibra that were amongst the Jews. He's avu taiva. They had a strong taiva, craving, desire. The yashuvu, and they returned. Vayivku, and they cried. Gam in Israel, also the children of Israel. But Yaimer said, "Mi achilenu basa." Who's going to feed us meat?
Just keep going.
Yeah.
This is a mob, eh?
You know,
Let's see. Okay, I don't want to go off. I'm sorry. That's a long Chumash and Rashi. No divergence. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies, but without apology. These are the mixed multitude, who gathered upon the Israelites, upon their departure from Egypt. That's who it's speaking. These are the rabble rousers, in other words. The Yashuvu, Gambane Israel, and the children of Israel also returned. The Yifku Imaim, and they wept with them. Right? They wept with them. Who's going to feed us meat? Rashi asks, didn't they have meat? Didn't already say that the mixed multitude went up with them, and the flock and cattle. They had flock and cattle. And if you want to say that they already ate it all up at this point, doesn't it say when they entered in the land? We're going to see at the end of 40 years in the Parshas Matos, in the last Parsha, or the second last Parsha, is going to speak about Reuben and God, that they want to stay Transjordan in the 40th year. Why? Because they had lots of cattle and they wanted good pasture, right? So obviously they had it, right? They had it throughout the 40 years. If they had it in the 40th year, for sure they had it in the second. This is the second year, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so they had abundant livestock. What is it? Why are they complaining about meat? Because they're looking for a pretext, right? Pretext. Zacharanu, we remember. So the Jewish people are saying, we remember. We remember the fish that we ate in Egypt, neichal, that we ate the Mitzrayim in Egypt, chinam, for free of charge. Huh?
No.
Yeah, you see, when you look back at things, how you
Yeah.
reframe,
Yeah.
right? 86 years of misery, all right? It's a keshuim and the cucumbers, there's a vatichim and the watermelons, there's a chatzir and the leeks, there's a batzolim and the onions, there's a shumim and the garlic. That you ate in Egypt free of charge. And if you would say that this means Shemitzrim Naisim Lehem Dogim, that the Egyptians would give them fish, Chinam, for free. Halakva Nema, doesn't it already say that Lechem, that straw they didn't even give to them, right? They had to get their own straw at one point. And if the straw they didn't give to them free of charge, and others they had to get it themselves. Do you think that they were serving them, a 1 square meal a day of fish for free?
Yeah.
So what does it mean chinam? Why does it say free? Hina, let's see Rashi. Let's learn Rashi. Hina mina mitzvahs, it means free from the commandments, right? They didn't want to have a commitment, right? Here was God was committing them. They didn't want that. As Akishuyim, the cucumbers, Amar Reb Shimon said, why was the manna changed into anything? Except for these things. In other words, the manna tastes like everything, right? Others, they were, what are they? They're complaining here, right? Remember, they're already getting manna, right?
Yeah.
This is second year. The manna already started in I think it was the beginning of year, the previous year. Okay. We're already we're a year later.
Yeah.
Right? 1 second. A year later? No, something's not adding up here. One second. Yeah, this is after leaving Har Sinai. Yeah. Right? They left when they leave Har Sinai, the 20th of year. Remember, we learned that.
Yeah.
10 days short of when they came to Har Sinai, of a full solar year. They are now in right. Oh, right. They're leaving Har Sinai. Now they can go 3 days in to Eretz Yisrael, right? And this is where they're complaining. So they already have the manna. So Rashi is saying that he's saying that the manna tastes. They're complaining about not having free fish, meaning free of mitzvahs, but they're also complaining of cucumbers, watermelons, leeks, onions, and garlic. Why? Because the manna tastes like anything that you wanted except for these three things. Why wouldn't they taste like these three things? Because they're harmful for nursing mothers. They would say to a woman, "I'll take shum or bottle, don't eat garlic or onion because of the infant." This is compared to a human king. He's free as stated in the Sifri.
But that's not addressing the manna tasting like meat.
No, it's just they're asking. It's interesting. They're asking for meat, right? Hi. She's going to be here shortly, so just if you don't mind taking a seat and waiting for her, you're here to do work, right? Okay, thank you.
Downstairs.
She's downstairs? Oh, so go downstairs into the office. Go down the steps to the right. Haki shuim, cucumbers. Haim cucumbers in Old French. Cucumbers. That sounds more like that sounds like more like Quebecois.
That's Latin from.
Avatichim, watermelons, and Old French, bodekis.
Sounds like Spanish.
Chatzir, leeks, creation, and Old French, parels. The Targum yas botzina yas. Yafta chayana berase v'chulu. Okay. Next. And now, nafshenu, our souls, Yavesha are dried out, ve'ein kol bilti elhaman einenu, and there's nothing at all. We have nothing but to look at as the manna. Elhaman einenu, min hashachar min erev. In other words, manna that they got in the morning and the evening. That's all we got to look at, right? Yeah. What does it say? How do we usually eat? With our eyes we eat. We don't eat with our stomach. We eat with our eyes, right? We want to have it looking pleasing, right? And so on, the way it's placed on the plate and, and so on. That's not what counts, but that's how people eat. So they ate with their eyes, and with their eyes, it was the same manna morning and evening, morning and evening, morning and evening. Come on. Aman. Kizera gatu ve'ena ke'ena badolach. And the manna was like a coriander seed, and its appearance was that of an appearance of crystal. Rashi in 7. Aman kizera God. The manna was like a coriander seed. Mish amar zeh. He who said this, le amar zeh, did not say that. Israel, the Jews would say, Bilti alaman, we have nothing before our eyes but manna. Kadosh Baruch Hu, Yichti b'Torah, but Hashem, He writes in the Torah, Aman kizera God, that the manna is like a coriander seed. Kalaymar, meaning to say, Ru'u be'elam, see who come into the world, what my children complain about. Yet the manna is valued. I really didn't get that.
Did it have any waste?
I don't know. Yeah, it happened in weight. I don't know if it was in weight or if it was in size. I'm not certain. Okay, not exactly clear what Rashi is saying here. The kizra gad, like a coriander seed. Next Rashi, ogol kegida. It's round like a gida, which is zera, which is a coriander seed. Okay. Bedolach. Shem Eben Teva. That's a fine stone, a name of a fine stone. Crystal in Old French. Psh. Okay. Verse 8. Shatu Am. The people walked, the loktu, and they gathered, the tachanu berechaim, and they ground it in a mill, oidachu, or in a mortar, the medeicha, or a mortar. They crushed it in a mortar, but bishlai, and then they cooked it, beparer, in a pot, but also isa, and they made from this manna, right, this coriander seed that looks like a crystal, ugais, they made it into cakes. V'haya tamai, and its taste was kitam lishad hashaman, like the taste of an oil cake. Shatu. So they took a walk. Ein shayit ela lashin tio. The word shayit is a term of strolling, and in Old French, ibanir, Malay amo, without exertion, right? Just a stroll, no exertion. They didn't run for it. And they ground it in a mill. Lo yara berechaim, the manna that didn't go down was not put into the mill. Lo bekadera, not into the kettle. Lo meducha, not into the mortar. Ella, what happened? Mishtana ayatai, its flavor would change. Then chanim into that of things that are ground, and to the things that are pounded, the things that are cooked.
Well, it says they ground it with millstones, and then Rashi's just saying it never went into a millstone.
1 second.
So some didn't meal something. That's what I heard. This is not Rashi.
Yeah, but let's kind of stick to what we're learning. Okay. Let's understand what Rashi is saying. So Rashi is saying that it didn't actually do that, but it had, I guess, the way I'm understanding is that the way you process the grain will give it a different kind of flavor.
Yeah.
So if you do it in a mortar, is one kind of flavor. If you do it in a mills, it'll be a different kind of flavor, right?
Or in a pot.
In a pot, it'll be a different flavor, right? That's what Rashi is saying. Now, what leads Rashi to say that is a good question.
But actually, I'm seeing here, it says, and it tasted as if they had ground it, but I tasted as if, so that means they didn't grind it.
Yeah, that's what Rashi is saying.
No,
Clearly.
I know, but
Clearly, Rashi is saying that.
Yeah,
That's my question is, where does Rashi get that from?
Yeah.
From the verse, it says they didn't. It doesn't say as if they did it. It says they did it. So why is he okay? A parur in a pot, kedera, a kettle. So they boiled it, right? The shad hashaman, don't knead it with oil. V'lach luach shel shemen, a moistness of oil. Kach pirshad donash. This is what how Donash explained it. Donash, a 10th century sage, explained it how it's similar to my freshness would transform in the heat wave of the summer. Old French. Oh no, the lamed. Sorry, no, it's not Old French. Sorry, the lamed is an essential element of the word. The shad, in other words, not shad is not the word. Nepach and our sages explain it. So according to the first explanation, it means it was moist of oil, right? The sages explain it, Lashon Shadaim, breasts. But the matter of breasts has nothing to do with oil. It's impossible to say that the word shemen leshad of the shemen v'yishman became fat. The adjective meaning fat rather than a noun meaning oil. Shim kain, if that were the case, hayamem no could become its cotton. Case grammar here that I'm not familiar with. Tam lamata, I'm just going to read through it. Tachas hamem, under the mem. Hashem v'asher shem no could bat cotton. Tam tachas hashin. Hashem v'ashem and lashon shemen who. So it means oil rather than fat. The shin the nekuda becomes gadol, and the shin is vowelized by the shin and becomes gadol. Ein nekuda v'patach cotton. Okay. Davar acher. Let's go to another explanation that he gives here. So he says the word lishad is an abbreviation for the word layish, kneading, shemen, oil, and dvash, honey. Like it says, a dough that's kneaded with oil, and it's smeared with honey. Right? So it's like, I guess making dough for challah, and then you put the honey on top of it, afterwards to bake. That's, according to an alternative explanation, what the word means. Lashon unkel is the relation with the Mishnah. Okay, we're going to the next verse, 9. And when the tal is dew, fell on the encampment at night, the man would go upon the dew, right? It would in other words, the dew sort of held it and kept it, packaged. The dew was its packaging. The Yishma Moshe, and Moshe heard. Esa'am, the nation. the people Beicha, that they're crying to their with their families. Each person at the entrance of his tent. And Hashem's anger was very angry. And in the eyes of Hashem, it was evil. Rashi intent. So what do you mean you're weeping by their families? What does that mean? The individual families would gather together and they would weep. The fire same room awesome to publicize their complaint, begoli and open. Right, that's what it means. In other words, right. In other words, they came together in small groups of family, crying about their situation to make it a public instead of being in your own tent and you want to cry privately. Right, but they mean exactly. Rabbi Seinu Amru, our sages explain the mishpachosav al iske mishpachet. It doesn't mean the word to their families doesn't mean literally that they gather together with their families. It's about their families. Al is something alehem, because that God made that there are many forbidden relationships they're not allowed to have. Wow. There's family life that you're not allowed to actually today starts the laws of what's forbidden in relationships, right? In Rambam. So they, it's too much. The nations of the world don't have so much forbidden to them as the Jewish people do when it comes to relationship. And Moshe said to Hashem, so Moshe is now speaking to God, right? Why have you treated your servant this way? Why have I not found favor in your eyes? That I should carry this burden. The entire people are upon me. Now he continues in 12. Did I conceive this people? It's this whole nation, Hazed, this one. Did I give them birth? I didn't conceive them or give them birth, right? And if he will say to me, that you should carry them in your bosom, like a nurse does, it's a yonik, the suckling, to the land that you promised to your forefathers. Like that's what you're expecting me to do? I should be like this nurse, the wet nurse, right? Who's carrying the baby. Yeah. I should carry the people to the land. Guess what? Guess what Moshe's doing?
He's complaining.
He's complaining. Right?
But I understand his complaints more.
Yeah. Okay, Moshe. We get you, Moshe. Say Marelai. Rashi in 12. Literally means when you shall say to me, this means that you say to me, carry them in your bosom. And where did he say to him that he should do this? Right? He's repeating as if God said this to him, right? So this is what you want me to do? Obviously that this was a request. So where do we see that? So in Exodus, it says, Lech necheyes ha'am, go lead the people. Va'emer, and it says in the same vein, Yitzavim es b'nei Yisrael, and he commanded them, Moshe and Aaron, regarding the children of Israel, lead them, but with understanding that they may even stone you, and insult you. Others, you got to lead them, even though they're going to start off with you, and they might even stone you. But this is what you got to do. Right, so in other words, it's been said already too, Moshe. Why is he complaining? Now he's complaining further. Ma'ayin libasar, where do I have meat from? Let's say Sacholam, to give to the entire nation, Hazeh, this entire nation. Ki yivku alai, that they should cry to me, Lamor, saying, Tenu lana basar b'neichela, give us meat and we should eat it. Where do I have meat from? Right? No, I'm not able. Lo ucha, I'm not able. I, anoichi, levadi, alone. Laseis to carry as kolam to carry this entire nation. Hazeh, this one. He covered me, man, because it's too heavy, too hard for me. Ooh, look what he says now. And if so, this is what you want to do to me? Hargenina, hareg. Kill me, please. Kill me. Kill. If I found favor in your eyes. Do not see my misfortune. Rashi, what does this mean over here? Sounds pretty very strong and harsh statement, right? What does it mean? This is how you will deal with me. Mesha's strength was weakened. Can a cave like a female? Because it says, it doesn't say ata, it says at. What does at mean? Feminine for you, right? So why is it feminine? Because his strength was that like a woman, meaning physical strength. Woman is, at least a third weaker. Actually, is it a third? Upper body strength. A man has a third, or it's 2/3 more. I forget which one. But anyways, understood. When Hashem, why did he become weak? Because God showed him the punishment that God is destined to bring upon the Jewish people. Over this, Amar Lafanav, Moshe said to him, Imkain, if that's the case, that you're going to punish the Jewish people this way, Hargeni Tchila, kill me first. Huh?
Golden calf.
This is after the golden calf. Okay. This is the second year. Golden calf was for.
He complained and said, "Take me out of your Torah." In other words, kill me.
Right. No, that wasn't kill. Here it's kill. Here it's kill. Okay. And let me not see my evil. Should have said their evil. What do you mean my evil? Shekina also, but the verse is a euphemism. This is one of the amendments in Torah Lakina for euphemism purposes. Latikun Lashon for enhancements of the language. Now, because you don't want to speak about their evil. You don't want to speak about Jews' evil, right? So he speaks about his own evil. It's a euphemism for their evil. I don't want to see their evil. And the consequence of their evil, that will be their punishment. Psh, what a guy. He's there for the Yidden. Yemer Hashem. We're in 16 right now. And Hashem said, El Moshe to Moshe, Esvali Shivim Ish, gather for me 70 men, Mizikne Israel, from the elders of Israel, Asher Yadai Tiki Heim Zikneam, for whom I know that they are the elders of the people, the Shaitrab and officers, Velakachti Oisam, and I will, and you will take the kachta rather, and you shall take them to the tent of meeting, Visyatziv Sham Imach, and they should stand there with you. Yisfuli, gather for me, Hare Tshuva. Here you have the response. To your complaint. So Yisfuli means not to me, but for me. To gather for me. This is a response to Moshe's complaint now. Okay? Shamarta, For you have said, "Lo yuchol aneichu levadi," that I cannot carry this entire nation alone. So where were the original elders? Remember, we already had elders that were set aside, right? That they had the Spirit of God, that they were to help in leading the Jewish people. So where were they? That now you have to gather. In other words, it's a new choosing, right? So why is it a new choosing? We've already been chosen elders before. So that's what Rashi asked. Even in Egypt, did they not have Yeshua Imohim that he had sat with Moshe and Aaron, the original elders? Shenemar, as it says, Israel, it says, right, in the very first parsha of Shmais, go gather the elders. So we already know that there's elders. So why is he now say, bring new elders that you don't know of? So why is it you need to select new elders? But they died in the fire of Taberi. They were fit to be punished by Sinai, because it says, Yechezu es Elokim, because it says that they viewed God, meaning they ate and drank while they were experiencing Hashem, right? Shenagu kalas reish, meaning they acted with levity. You're eating and drinking when you're in the presence of God.
They were gazing.
Huh?
They were gazing.
We're learning Rashi right now. Rashi saying they're eating. They were eating.
Drinking and gazing at
Right. So meaning that they took it lightly. God's presence is there and they are eating and drinking. That's taking God's presence lightly. They shouldn't eat and drink. That's the point. Not about the gazing. It's about eating and drinking. That's taking it and levity. It's rude. Kaneshef pite, like one who bid his bread, and he's speaking in the presence of God, right? You're eating your bread in the presence of God and in the presence of a king. You don't do that. In the presence of a king, you don't speak to him with a full mouth, right? Your mother told you don't speak to anybody with a full mouth. In front of the king, all the more so. That's what they did, right? Zehu. So they should have been punished then. This is Matan Torah we're talking about, right? They should have been punished then. Zehu, and this is what that they ate and they drank.
So there was a blaze at Matan Torah?
No, he's saying they should have been punished then. They weren't punished then. They weren't punished then. Well, let's finish Rashi. We'll see. But Hashem did not want at Sinai that he should generate any kind of mourning. The Matan Torah, at the giving of the Torah. Where did he pay it back to them? Here. In other words, in Taveria, right? They got paid back. Remember, Rashi had two opinions of who were the end people, right? They were not the leaders of the tribes. Here it is. It's the elders. They got consumed. They got destroyed. They died, right?
This is the second explanation.
The second explanation, right? So that fits in with this over here. That right, which then begs the question: why is it not the first explanation? Because it fits in with here, and over here, without that second explanation, how would you understand this verse?
Just gather the elders, but the elders weren't there.
Yeah, okay. The next Rashi. Okay. I'm not going to repeat things because there's too much. Oh my gosh, it's 9:28 already. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna okay. Asher yadaiti ki heim, who have you known to be oisam sha'ata makir, those whom you are aware, shenisnamnu aleihim shreitim, that they were appointed as guards over the Israelites in Mitzrayim in Egypt, ba'avedus perach, at the crushing labor, hayu merachim aleim, those right? The Egyptians appointed Jews to be over the Jews, right? And they should be the wicked ones over the Jews. But they had compassion, those people. They had pity. And they were beaten by the Egyptians because they had compassion over the Jews, fellow Jews. That the guards of the children of Israel were beaten. Ata now, let them be reappointed in the positions of authority in Israel's state of greatness. Just as they suffered in Israel's time of distress. One second, I'll show you that. Hold on. Aha. How did you know that they are to be the elders? Because they're the ones who were the guards in Egypt and they didn't whip the Jews and they got whipped themselves because of that. And take them, take them with words. Ashreichem, how fortunate you are. Parnosim, that you've been appointed as leaders of Banu Shalmokum over the children of Hashem. Sham imoch, and they should stand there with you. They should stand there with you, Kadesh Israel, so that the Israelites should see the Nahago Bahem Gedula, the covenant that they should treat them with greatness and honor and respect. Yemer and say, Chavim Melo, these elders are precious. Shnichnasu Moshe, because they entered the tabernacle with Moshe. Shmoya Dibur, to hear the speech of Hashem. Piyakodesh Baruch Hu. Okay, I'd love to continue. Realize how time flies when you're having fun.
It's giant parsha.